Welcome to the kNights podcast. I'm your host, Keikoa. With us tonight is Corey.
Hey.
Ben.
Hey.
And Steven.
Hi.
Hey.
What up? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
The
Slow
code breaker?
response.
Eh?
Yes, okay.
There's a backstory behind that. Only we'll get it.
Oh, okay. Anyways, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. Still busy as always. Let's see what. Oh, watched Gotham last night. First episode came out.
I completely missed that.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I missed
everybody.
it too.
I think it seems like
Everybody missed it.
You can't talk about it.
So I can't.
Save it till next week.
It is.
Well,
So
you could
next-
do an unspoiler. I mean, I think we all wanted to see it. We just either forgot.
I fell asleep today.
Or fell asleep. Wait, today?
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
I
you were
had-
supposed to watch it today.
I was supposed to watch it, and then I got home, started to relax a little bit,
But-
and then I wasn't conscious.
But you didn't. What about yesterday?
And
It was yesterday, right?
Yeah, it came out.
I didn't get home until after 9.
yesterday.
My
No,
day
it
started
actually
at
came
6.
out Monday.
Wait, what's... Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it came out
Today's
Monday.
Wednesday.
I apologize. It came out on Monday, the 22nd.
At what time?
So
8 o'clock.
so you saw it. So
Yes,
you
I did
like
watch it.
I guess an unspoiler.
Let's see, an unspoiler. Well, as everybody knows, it is as Bruce Wayne as a young boy, and it's basically right after his parents died, and it's
What?
basically all
Parents
of that.
died?
Oh shoot, I forgot.
Oh, well, it's too
no
late
one knows
now.
Bruce Wayne's parents died.
I thought they might have made it this time, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Thought they were gonna
So
change.
go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, it's just a prequel to everything. It's really cool. They have a lot of different characters. Basically, like I know based on how it's starting, it's gonna have like villains.
Wait, villains?
No, but they aren't really villains yet because it's before they have actually taken over their names and everything.
So it's like
So it's all
so it's
they-
like Gotham babies.
yeah, it's all Gotham babies.
Gotham
Yeah, I know. I was like, I totally watched it. Wait, that's kind of what Gotham
Yeah,
is.
it's-
They're all younger, right?
Yeah, because everyone's younger.
Yeah.
It's based around Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, except
Who's not commissioner yet?
He's not commissioner yet. He's just a new detective, and he's just basically a trainee, and that's basically how it starts. And then there's a plot line that it's starting, but I can't really give that away. So I don't want to give away any spoilers.
Well, from commercials and all that, it's gonna have Catwoman in it, the Riddler, Poison Ivy. But the Riddler is already going to be kind of like in his 20s in this one.
Okay. Well, since I couldn't remember what was in the trailer, so yeah, they are all in that one. It starts off with Selena Kyle.
She's
They
like
never-
a teenager.
Yeah, she's like a teenager. She's about the same age as Bruce.
All right.
So yeah, it adds a little twist to that. She doesn't have any lines or anything. It's just her
Climbing a roof.
climbing around, and basically doing Catwoman stuff. But before she's Catwoman,
Wait, so how old is Bruce Wayne then in this one?
Isn't he supposed to be like?
he's like
10-ish
10
when
around
they
because
die?
that's when his parents died. I want to say he's about
So
like
he-
10ish, and
And then, wait. So I guess I was gonna say who else is. Which other ones have they introduced already? But I guess that could be a spoiler, or is it like just
basically everyone that he's said, but they don't introduce them as like their names. So there's Ivy, which is going to be Poison Ivy. So she's a little girl still. She's actually, it seems, younger than Bruce Wayne. So I want to say she's about like 9, 8, 9.
Yeah.
so? Do they already have their like traits too? Like
Physical traits.
It has physical traits. It's a redhead, and then
should I
she
go
has
with-
like a bunch of plants in like her
Okay.
house. So then it's like, okay, that's obviously going to be Poison Ivy. There's like her name's Ivy.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And there's plants like all everywhere, so it's obvious that she likes plants and everything. So then that's how it's going to connect later. They did show Edward Nigma, but they didn't call him Edward. They just called him Nigma. And
Enigma.
yeah, so and you could tell it was him based on how he's talking and quirkiness, and he just gives out like a quick riddle,
That's
like
the
just
Riddler.
yeah.
Spoilers. But yeah.
Well,
okay.
if you didn't know
This is
Edward
Ben's
Nigma,
contribution.
yeah. Yeah, Edward Nigma is Riddler. So it basically they're showing off their personas of their villains, but it's before they were them. And then there was also the Penguin in there.
Oh, they had Cobblepot?
Cobblepot's in there.
How old is he then?
He's about like 20.
Yeah,
His
that makes more
little
sense because they'd be an older.
They're all really young.
Except for Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle. then?
Selena Kyle and Ivy.
Those
Poison
three
Ivy.
are kind of the same age-ish. I think
Mhm.
Crane is also...
Yeah, I think Crane is
gonna
about their
be
age.
right there.
But they haven't introduced him yet. I'm assuming he's going to be in there later.
Freeze is older than them. Cobblepot is probably the eldest of them.
Yeah, he's definitely an
And
older
then,
one. Riddler's
Riddler
older.
is older.
Joker's old. No, I think Joker's about the same age.
It's about the same, maybe a little older if anything, but same age-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was listening to Batman on Batman. I think one was saying that they imagine that Joker and Batman are essentially kind of the same age.
Yeah, how I've always pictured them is they're basically like the same age. It's just he's crazy. And
And then there's Joker.
Then there's,
There's the opposite of the same coin, I feel.
Yeah.
If Batman just took that alternate turn, it would have been completely different.
yeah.
So you like?
Yeah.
So you like?
I enjoyed it. It was
As
a
an
pretty
opening
good
episode?
as a pilot. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I like Batman in general, so I'm kind of biased to it.
That's
But I
true.
did like that they aren't blatantly like, okay, this is who it's gonna be. Like this is gonna be the Penguin. This is gonna be Poison Ivy. It's only if like you know who their names were. Like if you knew Oswald Cobblepot.
Cobblepot. What?
Yeah. Or you knew that all of their names. Like if you didn't know Edward
Like if
Nigma
you
was
knew nothing
the
about
Riddler.
Batman at all.
Yeah, if you knew nothing about Batman, it'd just be like a normal show of this detective going around. So, but yeah, it's
I
really
do wonder
eventually
how it
has a
would
tie
play
to
like
Batman.
that. Yeah, I wonder how it would play to someone who has never heard of any of the Batman mythos or cares at all. So, I mean,
I don't
guess-
know. It's hard for me to take myself out of it. And
Oh no, none of us
yeah.
could because
Yeah,
we
we
know
could.
too much. We've
But
seen too much.
They're adding a new character, aren't they? Will Smith's wife, lady? Isn't she playing a brand
Yes,
new?
she's. I feel she's like one of the main villains, but like, so I didn't. You don't know who she is because she's obviously a new character. Because I was like, is she somebody? I had a feel. It's like she should be somebody, but I was like, I don't think she is.
I feel as though they're, at least the feel I get is that they're going to probably be playing more with the Falcones and all that, where it's a mob. It was originally mob stuff, and then they started to go more into the
Yeah, well, because it's still not.
supervillains.
Yeah,
and all
because Batman's still not around yet.
that. Yeah,
So
it's just the mafia.
So yeah, it's basically they're gonna add new characters because in all the comics it's about Batman and his villains. These are all people that came before Batman's villains and everything. So there's gonna be, it allows them to incorporate new villains into the series that are gonna be kind of like Gordon's the villain type things, since it is kind of based around him.
more practical villains than these exotic, strange weirdos.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it.
So it worked pretty well as because I remember it made me think of another series that started the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one. So it's at least a season old now, but I remember when it started, it was a lot of hype behind it, and if you're a fan of Marvel, you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be like the movies, except on a TV show kind of thing. But then it really wasn't that. It was this kind of, more of a spy kind of thing, like more of the secret agents kind of stuff. But even then, it wasn't completely that. It was some kind of weird, I don't know, basically in the beginning, I don't think it was that good. But it had a lot of hype behind it when it came out, because the Marvel movies are doing so well that the TV show is going to be great. But then it was only okay, and I watched the whole first season now, and it did get really good around like the mid-season. It finally got its footing, and now it's really interesting. They're starting to introduce actual characters from the comics and stuff into the show, like everyone wanted to happen. They wanted to see more comic book characters, not just its own thing. But when I first started watching it, I thought it was like, this is. It was kind of a hard watch. I didn't really find it interesting.
The same way too, like the first few episodes.
It does.
It's like it starts off really slow, and then you're not really sure where they're going, or like no one really has their footing yet.
Yeah, it feels like they didn't even know where they were headed.
Yeah,
almost.
And then as soon as they had that movie tie-in, right in the middle of the season.
Is that the one where with the Thor one, or are you talking about later on with the Captain America tie-in?
The Captain America tie-in.
Well,
like
even
with the Thor one, it started to pick up, but it was still kind of...
Well, because that's the one where they had Lady Sif show up.
Yeah.
In a special episode. So it was kind of weird because she's in that episode, and then, like, there you go, there's your superhero. I'm out, kind of thing. But, I mean, actually around that time is when it did start to really pick up, and you were started to get more invested in the storyline kind of thing, whereas it was one of those shows in the beginning where... I really thought this thing's gonna get canceled because it's as much as I like Marvel, it's just not really Marvel. It's just this show about kind of secret agents sort of thing, like this team of secret agents sort of Shield. But then especially once they did the tie-in with the Captain America stuff with spoilers
Hydra.
With Hydra, basically, because everything that if you've ever seen Winter Soldier, like everything, all of Shield just goes basically down the crapper. It just explodes, and so you watch that in the theaters, and then you watch the next week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever, and it carries directly into that. Everything, all the fallout from the movie ends up in the TV show, which is kind of what I think me and a lot of people wanted to happen. They want the movies to happen, but they want the show to like be running underneath and just be picking up stuff from the show, because I don't think they had a few nods to Thor in the show, like stuff with portals and stuff. Or they, like, if anything, they'd bring up Thor more often than anything else, and it was usually just like a side note. Like Coulson would say something like a throwaway line that was kind of funny about maybe Asgard or something, or I don't want to get the Asgardians pissed at us or something like that. Like a little throw out to the fans, but it's just like that was it, and then back to what we were doing anyways. But once like the Captain America stuff happened, it's like, okay, everything got real now, and you can really see the direct lines of the movie, and you can finally see the unison between the two.
The right hand now knows what the left hand's doing.
Everybody's on the same page, basically.
Yes, it actually turned into a true like expanded universe show,
which is what everyone wanted. I think I wanted a nice seamless universe, and it seems like they finally started it. And I think their second season is starting soon. If it hasn't
it's
already.
all starting pretty soon.
So I don't think you guys haven't seen the first season, right?
No.
All of it. You probably saw the first few episodes.
Yeah, I did. I didn't
admit it's now. Yeah, it's now. Since you can now, the whole first season is done. If you could get your hands on it, it's worth watching.
Today's the first episode of the second season, right?
I don't know. Actually, it might be.
I think it is.
Is it on Wednesdays? Oh, then yeah.
Because probably.
I should be going to watch it.
We just missed it.
I'm actually looking for, after watching the end of the first season, and basically by the end of that is kind of where everything's falling apart, or they're trying to start putting stuff together, but everything's still in ruins. So it kind of leads up to the second season, and they think they finally got their footing. Whereas going back to Gotham, it sounds like they've got a really good thing from the beginning.
Yeah, well, with Gotham, you can't really run in unison because there's movie out there that's running like that.
Not for 2 movies.
Oh well, not that. Not that kind of thing. But I mean, the show runs well. It started off good.
It started off pretty good. I think they've taken the formula of the other like Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, and everything. They've seen how those have been progressing and see how those had little rough starts.
Oh yeah, you were saying we were talking about Arrow earlier, and how Arrow had kind of a slow beginning and kind of took time to establish itself before it started.
Yeah, I feel that it's like that. One thing that Gotham has over the other ones, I think, is that they gave stuff to the fans, like, initially. Like, you know how the other ones, it starts off slow because it's just, like, establishing the characters and not, like, giving any homage to the fans or anything. This one, it's basically a detective show, but with Batman.
They know what their audience is there for.
They know it's specifically Batman, and they're there to see the Batman stuff.
Everybody knows Batman too.
Yeah, and
even if they
it's
don't,
giving backstory to all the characters that you've always loved in the comics. So they're able to create these backstories that you never really got in depth with in the comics or anything, because it's basically just as Batman. So this one, it's seeing it from a different point of view and not from Batman. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
compared to...
Well, yeah, that one, like you said, Arrow got better. And
yeah, Arrow
Gotham
did get better.
Looks like out of the chute doing good stuff. The only problem with Gotham is, at least for now, it's kind of like the Nolan Batman movies where it's a standalone, because there's no universe built around it yet. Like eventually, well, in 2016 when the other movie's supposed to come out, I mean, it'll be in its third season by then. Well, second season. Well, basically, it'll have established itself by then.
Somewhere around there.
Maybe eventually, or it might still be standalone. That's still an option. It could
still be standalone because it's not based around Batman. It's based around everybody. It's based around Gordon and everything that happened before.
True, but it's also starting way before the.
Yeah, it's
so like, it could. So well, I mean, it's already starting now, whereas the movies aren't even getting out till whenever. So it's got a lot of time to, if it wanted to jump time or something like that, it could. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're planning on it, but
who knows? They may try to, but
well, because with their movie properties, it seems like they're trying to copy Marvel, basically trying to actually have a cinematic universe that's connected finally. Whereas the Nolan Batman movies, as great as they are standalone. Yeah, they don't play well with others at all. No, so. Now you're like, hey, those were great movies. Let's build on that. It's like, oh, we can't, because they are standalone movies. They weren't built to be part of a universe, so they can't universe build off of that. So it sounds like
that's why they're doing
Superman, Batman v Superman is basically,
and they're still keeping that title.
Yes, they're still keeping, which is that title. But is that going to be the first movie that's going to be out? From DC, is that they're launching one for their cinematic?
I think
they don't have anything coming out before that, do they?
I don't think so, right? Because I think they're in a lull until that comes out, and then they'll be kind of see how that goes, and then they'll be set to start like.
I think they're coming out with a Flash television show or something.
Well, they're coming out. That's the thing that they've been strong
TV,
with.
Though.
Actually,
they've been doing very well in the TV front.
Yeah,
it's the movie front that.
The cinematic universe.
Although, interestingly enough, because Arrow and Flash are set kind of in the same universe, right?
They are in the same universe.
But Gotham is not in the same universe. No. Gotham is once again...
I don't think so. Well,
Batman once again stands alone.
It's a different timeline.
It's a different timeline.
I mean, it's its own story. It's not, you're not going to see a tie-in. Yeah. But they're not like... They don't have some kind of grand scheme to draw all their stuff together.
Unless they have a Savage Time episode.
Maybe. Well, yeah, maybe. But I mean,
maybe they'll have him grow up, and it'll be Bruce going through his training and stuff
to lead into
because Arrow and I don't know how Flash is gonna be, but Arrow, I think it's all the backstory before he actually becomes the Green Arrow, because he's still not the Green Arrow.
He's kind of the Green Arrow, but he's not.
Like he has the whole costume and everything, but he doesn't have the homage. That's the Green Arrow.
Is this kind of like Superman, like Smallville?
Yeah, it's like Smallville. Like how it builds up to like them becoming like in Smallville, he becomes Superman.
You didn't like Smallville? I was like that look. Like, did you like Smallville? I mean, I didn't watch Smallville, so I have no horse in this race. But I mean,
well, it was good when it first started, and then I kind of fell off and somewhere in the middle, and I think.
So the premise was
where there were a lot of fillers, and then towards the end they started introducing all these characters, like having a young Justice League type feel to it.
Oh, so they took a turn. Like we need to.
Yeah, I heard they kept introducing people that they had no business being in his
like Aquaman.
Universe at that point.
I think he runs into a young Bruce Wayne at one point.
Okay, wow. Well,
runs into the Flash, and
it sounds like a good idea if it had apparently been the idea from the get-go, but
if it was sounding more like something more.
Yeah, it sounds like it was more of a, now what are we going to do? Well, let's just start throwing in Justice League members into the show, as opposed to
Cyborg.
As opposed to just like a natural, this is what the series is supposed to be, basically the Justice League as a series, but Smallville always was Superman's story, basically, right?
Yeah.
And how many seasons did that go, roughly?
That wasn't like 9.
It was like a long time,
10?
too, right?
11, 12?
It was a good number.
Oh, it was a
It
lot.
was a good number.
Just
So
told
maybe they
me
ran
that
out
they-
of steam or something. Like, we need ideas. And
I'm really hoping these ones don't
It
like
just
the Arrow.
bothered me that they had introduced so early in Clark's life Luther and what's her name, Lois Lane. Never like
Oh, yeah.
he didn't meet them until he
was,
moved
like,
into the city. He didn't grow up with these people.
Well, I mean, Smallville was always a reimagining anyway, so
That-
they had
but
otherwise.
That's the reason I didn't watch it, is because they had everybody in
that's
the shot.
understandable.
It's like that's
That
not
makes
how it is.
sense.
I'm not a big Superman fan, but pay a little justice, I guess.
But then, in that case, you wouldn't have ever basically. When does he go? When does he finally get to Metropolis in Smallville?
Does he?
Yeah,
No.
he does.
Or is it early?
They kind of mention it fairly early on in the whole scope of the series. And then I want to say like halfway through the series, like he's actually visiting Metropolis pretty regularly.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, yeah, I can understand not having like Lois Lane and Lex Luthor in the beginning, but then you got to have someone in there. Otherwise, why is for those people who aren't like hardcore
Lana
Superman
Lane.
fans? Yeah, like Lana Lane, but everyone knows Lois Lane. I mean, if you don't show her until like season 4, then no one's gonna watch the season 4 because they're like, I don't know, I know Superman, but where's Lois Lane? Where's Lex Luthor? Even though it doesn't make sense, obviously. But I mean, I think for them, they're just like, well, no one's gonna watch. None of the normals that don't know Superman beyond the movies where they're like Superman and Lois Lane and then Lex Luthor. That's all they know. That's what I mean. I'm not the biggest Superman fan either, so I don't know too much about the childhood portion. Actually, a lot of the stuff I've seen has been Elseworld stories anyway, so then those were really good stories and I guess could have worked too, but I think they probably thought that just trying to get regular people that know Superman only up to the movies without having the other main characters that they know, it could work, but it'd be probably a risk they didn't want to take. They wanted to just like, oh, we'll throw in names they know, which they apparently took to the nth degree by the end of the series. Like, okay, now let's throw everybody into the series that people might know.
It made it entertaining. Didn't really make much sense to the...
Right, I'm sure I would have been all giddy to see more Justice League members,
Yeah.
but then I've been like, okay, are we kind of jumping a shark here or something? Just like, we're just throwing anything at the wall at this point.
With that, like one of the first ones they introduced was Aquaman.
Hmm.
Aquaman. Okay.
in Smallville.
Yeah. But I guess Smallville...
In the middle of America, Kansas. No water around, really. What? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
He got washed into a lake.
Yes, he got lost and ended up in a lake. There you go.
Yeah.
But I think Smallville was before all this, like, well, before Marvel started getting big on their universe, their all-encompassing cinematic universe.
Pre-Disney.
So, yeah, this is ahead of its time. Like, if it had come out, like, now...
It would have failed.
Maybe, but it would have been in better company. Also, like, in DC's new kind of world-building strategy, then you could have... Well, I mean, the Gotham one stands on its own, but like it seems like they're working on trying to put the beginnings with Arrow and Flash, because those ones are going to go together, and I've heard people say that those versions of them might end up in the Batman versus Superman movie, not Justice League movie, but
well,
they might... They'd like to use... People would like to see those characters as the Arrow and the Flash in those ones, which... I mean, I think would be a good idea.
I think it's a good idea because, especially if you watch the shows, you come to get connected with that Arrow and that Flash, and then it
saves you having to do another origin story too.
Then they already established that this is this person, these are these characters, and you have the origin, and you can just put them in the movie, and it's like you already know that's the Green Arrow, and you already know his backstory, and you know who he is.
If not, you could go watch the series.
Yeah.
We already did that, so we don't have to do that in another movie.
Yeah, you don't have to keep doing an origin movie. Like, you don't have to keep remaking the Incredible Hulk.
Well, no, you have to keep remaking the Incredible Hulk until you get it right.
Until you get it right.
Yes, apparently that one you do have to keep doing. Although, speaking of that way of doing it, because DC is doing almost a reverse of what Marvel did. Not counting the TV shows, but they're trying to start from now the Justice League or the Avengers essentially, and working almost backwards. Whereas Marvel, you had your Iron Man, you had your Hulks a few times, you had your Thor, you had your Captain America. Yeah, everyone had their individual movie. Then you had the Avengers, but everyone got their standalone origin stories, and then boom, you had the big movie. Whereas DC now is like, well, Avengers made a lot of money. Let's start. And they say Batman v Superman, but with the amount of people they're throwing in, it's kind of a Justice League maybe light movie. So they're starting with Avengers and working backwards, and maybe doing the origin stories after. Well, I want to make. You could do that though. You could have not origin stories, but standalone movies with your. I was gonna say your.
Well, they need something for Wonder Woman because
Wonder Woman already deserves her own standalone movie.
She is one of the Trinity. I don't see why they haven't made her movie.
Because you can't apparently.
She's kind of hard to do, even through comics. They've slipped on some banana peels on her.
They have, but then that could be said again. Every character has poor stories written. Batman has some bad ones. Superman has the bad ones.
Yeah, but there's a one where Wonder Woman loses her powers and becomes like this stay-at-home mom. And is obsessed with her boyfriend and blah blah. It's like,
yeah,
okay.
no. I just said everyone's got their bad ones, but that still doesn't mean that they don't deserve to have their own. I'm just
saying it's going to be hard to do because historically, it's just they've had a hard time with Wonder Woman.
I think they could pull something off.
I mean,
though.
the comic's still around, so if it was that hard to do, she wouldn't be around. So there's got to be good stories out there with what I don't read enough Wonder Woman. That's on me, but I mean, she's got to have good stories. It can't be of all these years you're saying we can't round up enough of a story to make a movie about her. I mean, there's got to be something out there.
Yeah, there has to be.
I mean, it can't be that much of a difficulty to find a good story they did about her, and then.
I'm sure they're coming up with other stuff too, because they have other announcements that kind of slipped under the radar. Like The Rock confirmed that he's going to be
Shazam.
Black Adam.
No, he's going to be Black Adam.
Oh, he's going to be Black Adam.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be Shazam.
No, that's what everyone thought he was going to be.
At first, and then later on he came out and clarified on Twitter it's like Black Adam. And it's like,
well, I thought when he did that one, when he let it slip that about the magic word, and everyone was like, oh, Shazam.
Yeah.
But then I was like, he seems more like a Black Adam to me, actually. Even then, I was like, he doesn't seem like a Shazam, but Black Adam, I think I could see him. And then
his name is Captain Marvel.
Who?
I don't care what they're doing nowadays.
Oh, right, Captain Marvel. Right. No, I agree with you. I always went by
they don't want
Captain
people
Marvel.
to get confused because Marvel's a huge name now.
Well, Marvel has a Captain Marvel as
Actually,
well.
they had a little bit of a legal issue.
There's a legal issue. That's why they just Shazam.
But isn't Shazam the name of the sorcerer that gave him all his powers?
I'm a little fuzzy now, but maybe. But I mean, I think it was just, like you said, the legal part. They just basically, let's just, okay, we'll just call him Shazam. Although, yes, I agree. I like calling him Captain Marvel, too, because that's how I always see it.
Yeah, that's who
whenever I read the books and stuff. Although I guess the New 52 is mostly, they're just Shazam. And I haven't read the New 52, and I've only read the older stuff where he's called Captain Marvel. I usually just stick with that.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, I haven't read any of the New 52, which is, once again...
I've only read, I think, one of their first Suicide Squads, which is pretty good.
Oh, wait, actually I did read one thing, and that was Death of the Family.
Death of the Family? The Joker one?
The new one that came out with the New 52 one. Was it called? I know Death in the Family, I think, is the original one.
It was the original, but I think it's Death of the Family or something.
Is the new one. I've read both of them, but someone gave it to me for my birthday, the New 52 one, which is it's interesting too.
It's dark.
Oh yeah, it's pretty dark and
ridiculously dark.
I think each one is like him interacting with another character, like him interacting with Harley, him interacting with other characters, kind of thing, and each one is its own story, kind of thing. At least in the trade paperback I got, but it was really interesting to read. But it's the only part of the New 52 I've actually read, which by the time I got into comics anyway, it was way later, like when the New 52 was actually already coming out.
Oh wow!
And then I wanted to go back and read the stuff that was apparently no longer in canon.
Yeah, which bothers me. I get that you need to revive every once in a while.
Damn,
but-
retcons.
Well, this is like this isn't even retcon. This is just like erase.
Yeah.
Here it is now.
We'll start
Yeah.
from.
We're not even saying that stuff happening. We're just like,
But I like pretty much. I've heard that every other character they redid pretty much the origin story in their own way. But Batman is it's
Batman.
a classic. It's still the Batman origin.
Batman is still Batman.
It's hard to do that and make him who he is now.
Yeah, you change how it is, and you just change it completely, and it comes down to the origin with Batman. So you can't really futz with it too much without changing it completely. So they're like, you just do what
Okay,
you
you
do.
can still watch your parents die. All right.
you just do what you do, and then we'll work with everyone else. But yeah, Batman, you stay Batman.
Yeah, they like just altered the other characters.
Yeah, everyone else like got a totally new origin and a totally new redesign. Looks all different and stuff.
But Batman.
But Batman is still Batman. Batman remains. But I mean, DC's not starting their first movie isn't coming out till 2016, right? That's when
Batman v Superman comes out in 2016.
2016. Nothing.
Yeah.
So nothing for
Think
2014.
there's anything in between.
Nothing in
until that
2015 except for
'Cause
Marvel smacking them around
they
for
were
another
going
year.
to do the second Superman with Henry Cavill.
Man
but,
of Steelier.
but when they did the whole announcement to have Batman in there, like kind of reboot him, I guess. In a
Well, I
sense.
guess that was kind of the joke too. Is like Batman or Superman didn't even get a second movie.
Yeah.
He got a duo movie where he's
It's like,
pushed,
oh man.
and he's not even top billing in that movie. Isn't it Batman versus Superman? So
It became Batman's
Superman
movie.
2 became Batman's movie, and Superman as the co-star or something.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
That sucks if you're a
that's
Superman.
just how Superman is, though. People will go see Superman, but people are going to see Batman.
Well, that's
They might see Superman.
well, that's
They'll see
a
that.
part of it is because of Nolan's movies. Like I'm sure post Batman
Tim Burton
and Robin. Now Tim Burton, yes, strong, but then once you get to the later end, Batman and Robin,
George Clooney.
less so, less
Everybody
strength
freeze.
in the Batman. Hilarious to watch, not the Batman you came to see. So I think by that time,
I used to meet you.
maybe Superman had a better chance, if anything, of like taking the crown. But then Nolan came up and like, oh, here's a badass Batman for you. It's like, oh, Batman, there you are. And then he once again, Batman on top.
Yeah.
And Superman, he had his opportunities, but none of the movies really struck a chord.
I
They never
tried
really
to watch
got
the
it.
Superman movies, but when Superman made the Earth spin backwards to make time go backwards, it's like, this is not how time works. This is stupid.
That's how Superman works, though.
Stupid.
Well, I mean, we're already agreeing he's an alien with superpowers.
I think
No,
you're
he-
just nitpicking
he-
at that point.
He's a god. It's nitpicky to say that's not how time works.
I
You
can
would
believe an
destroy
alien
the
can
planet.
be like superhuman, but time, no, okay. You've gone too far. I could, and then he never does it again, too, because, even he understands, that was ludicrous. What have I done? What have I done? This doesn't even make sense. Never again.
Ludicrous speed.
No. They just, instead, he grabs the invisible box out of his chest and captures.
Oh, the S one?
Yeah.
Oh, the one where he throws his okay.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Superman started to get weirder and weirder.
Spoiler.
That was the second one.
I know, it didn't take long, but I'm just saying, like, But then after those, the Christopher Reeve movies, then you had Superman Returns. Like, was that the next one?
Yeah.
After,
Yeah, I
and
think
that
so.
was
Yeah.
way after too. That was
That
a
was
big
a good
gap.
span. That was like 20 years ish, wasn't it?
And even then, like, I think I didn't really care for the movie. It has some,
I didn't
some
see
people like it, some people don't really care
Yeah,
for
I
it. I didn't think it
didn't
was
really like
terrible or anything, but it just was kind of a little boring. I thought like it should have had more. It could have had more stuff because you're working with Superman here, and it's kind of just floated by. But it wasn't a terrible. I didn't think it was a terrible movie.
If you're talking about things getting wordy, this Batman v Superman, anytime they're together, it gets really wordy. It's just their conflict of.
well, a lot of
principles.
it, at least in the books,
Yeah.
the Batman, Superman, the books, it's always usually tends to be thoughts, which is going to be interesting because you can tell what they're thinking. So they could think whatever they want about the other person, and only you notice it. But in the movie, you're not going to get that unless they have some weird thought thing.
There's going to be a lot of
thought bubbles, or they're going to be standing.
Voiceovers that are going to be standing there, and they're just going to be talking with.
Because that's a lot of the good stuff.
Pause
Is that
the
when
scene
they
just like in Saved by the Bell, and he just looks at the camera and starts monologuing.
Well, see, that's
Zach Morrison. What?
That's more of a Deadpool kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that. Which, speaking of which,
that movie was announced.
They greenlit a Deadpool movie.
Rated R.
It sounds
be.
Well. No, see, the thing is,
NC-17.
I read on somewhere they'd seemed like they were leaning towards the PG-13. Now, yeah, that's what everyone said. But actually, they made a good point in the article about him being able to use the fact that he's going to be put. Because he can break the fourth wall. That's what Deadpool does. So all this stuff that comes with what they'd have to tone down to get it to a PG-13, he can actually comment on it. Like, whereas, he can't do this. He'll actually give him more opportunities to be Deadpool in that one. And, like, you're going to be missing maybe the gore and the blood, but there wasn't any gore in that one.
But it's also his swearing and all that.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing he can comment on, kind of thing. Okay. The swearing part about, like, if they do censor him, he'll say it, it'll bleep, and then he'll probably make a comment like, "What was that?" kind of thing.
And then
see,
like,
yeah, it's like almost like an invitation for more Deadpool type stuff. Like he'd just be spin him out, and you're like, oh yeah, it's awesome that he's doing it, but then there's missed opportunities for comedy on Deadpool's part is the point they were making. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of a good point. And then they're talking about in the test demo segment, it's an awesome thing. Like, I like it. Every time I see it, I always watch it over and over again. But that thing doesn't have any blood in it. It's all just pure action, except for the guy gets his head cut off at the very end. But the scene itself doesn't actually have any blood in it. The guy gets run over by a car, still no blood, but it's still, they managed to craft an awesome scene that doesn't require blood or anything. So you can make,
if you do it well, you don't really need
exactly.
gore.
So it depends on who's going to be basically running the camera and such. You could really pull it off.
Does Disney own Deadpool, or
it's Fox?
Fox? No.
That's the other thing that people were like, that gets them, and I can agree with that. But not the best track record, but
what it has going for it though is all the people involved in making the movie they really, really want to make the movie. Like the guy who's, I think, going to be the director for it became a director. Well,
but it also leans a lot on who's going to play Deadpool.
I thought it was
Isn't it Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, I thought he was pushing
going to be
for that too.
Oh,
they haven't announced
Origins,
the casting, but yeah.
But isn't
he's the one? He's actually
the one that wants to do it.
He's actually the one. Him and the guy who hopefully will direct it. Those two have been actually working on it behind the scenes ever since Origins. Like ever since, maybe even before that. Because Ryan Reynolds loves the Deadpool character, probably because he practically is Wade Wilson.
He does it well.
He's like in the Origins. That's probably one of my favorite scenes from Origins. Is where the scene where he's playing Wade Wilson. He goes up in the elevator, makes wisecracks, hilarious, goes in there, badass, kind of does his thing. And that's just him as Wade Wilson, normal human, as kind of, which is weird.
Normal-esque.
Yeah, but you could, in that scene, you could really see where his character crosses over with Deadpool, basically. Ryan Reynolds as a character just works as Deadpool. Plus, he loves the character. He's like, he really enjoys, he gets the character. He actually really, really wants to be it. So if you wanted somebody to be it, that just not, I kind of look like him and I can act kind of somebody like that's like Deadpool. I don't never heard of it, but I could play it. Versus Ryan Reynolds, who knows the character inside and out and has actually been one of the few guys that has been petitioning actually to the studios to get this movie made for many moons now, actually. So he I think would be to have the passion for it, where someone else just picking it up be like, oh, okay, I'll play the part, this Deadpool-y guy kind of thing. But then like you said, the director guy, I don't think he directed anything. He directed like one other thing or something.
I think he wanted to take on the role of director, and that would be actually his first big breakout directing title. Because he's been doing like a bunch of indie movies beforehand, and I think that was the biggest credits to his name.
Yeah, and this is like he is almost like saving himself for this one actually as his big debut kind of thing,
right?
Because he really gets the character and really wants to portray him in a good light and wants to make a good Deadpool movie, not just a Deadpool movie. I think the writers that wrote the script also wrote like Zombieland.
Yes.
Oh,
so,
that's just a good.
Yeah, so I mean,
and then the other guy was he like a producer or something, or he did Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, the guy who did the visual effects for Scott Pilgrim.
Looking at those two, like Zombieland is Deadpool type of humor and all that, and the special effects. Yeah, okay, it's pretty good. All right, then I'll look forward to it. When is it supposed to come out?
2016.
Is it 2016? Oh, right, because we're almost at the end of 2015.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? But they just got the green light.
No, sorry. They should have been making it, then gotten permission.
Before, yes.
Well, the thing that really got it going was that supposed leaked footage, and then there's huge internet support for it, like just massive internet support. Like, this needs to happen exactly like this. Like, don't mess it up. Like,
well, the thing about
we
it
will
is, too,
find
is
you.
Deadpool has been, like, if you go to if you see any of the cons and stuff, the Comic Cons, he's actually, a lot of people are dressing up as him. He doesn't have a movie or anything, or a TV show or anything. It's just based on basically the character and the strength of the comic. So you see a lot of people dressing up as other characters, but they have TV shows or they are movies or stuff like this. But this character is almost popular without so far having any major push from outside other than, being an awesome comic character. Yeah, just from the comics. So
like, you see links online all the time with like, classic Deadpool, and it's just him doing
exactly,
like,
and it's all just from the comics because he hasn't had anything else to go on. So there's already that weird popularity that's already coming, that's already surging from
following.
that's just building on its own. So that plus the leaked footage just probably like exploded the internet when it showed up.
That's actually what made the executives take notice.
Finally,
because
that footage was amazing. The leaked footage was really good. I mean, it was it was all like computer graphics. So, but I mean, other than that,
and it was
really
old
good.
Too.
And it was old too,
years old.
So that was So it's just, but then they passed on that. But then again, I guess there wasn't much clamor even back then for that.
The internet then wasn't what the internet is now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when was that footage? Was that after Origins? Or was that before Origins? Because, like, Origins was the first time you have Deadpool technically in a movie.
Yeah.
Even though whatever that thing was.
Deadpool.
Deadpool by name only. But you at least had Wade Wilson as a Deadpool kind of character. So I think, I want to say as far back as that is maybe when that footage was originally put together, maybe. So I don't even remember when Origins came out, actually.
No,
a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I want to say at least 6 years ago.
And so, yeah, that sounds about right. So since then, they're like, hey, we could do this. And that footage never saw the light of day and then when it did, everyone lost their minds. And now they're slated to make a movie in 2016 or come out 2016. But the problem is, actually, I heard they were doing an Assassin's Creed movie. That's what they're planning.
I heard about that, yeah.
And they bumped that
for
the Deadpool movie.
Which, we got to catch this hype right now while it's still hot.
So, in 2 years.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Happy to get it, but I'm like, yay, movie coming out in 2 years. Boo. But I guess that's always the way. Like when they started hyping Batman versus Superman, I was like, yay, 2016. Boo. I mean, it was like we were talking about hype, but then I think for the Batman v Superman, they've been trying to at least keep the wave of hype going by releasing a little bit of picture here, snapshot there.
Purposely releasing accidental leaked footage.
Which they got a long year ahead of them if that's the wave they're going to try to ride. Just like try to keep the wave going just a little bit. I mean, by the time the movie comes out...
a teaser trailer comes out, it's going to... It'll rekindle.
Oh yeah.
Remember when the
I
first
doubt it.
teasers were coming out for like the Dark Knight and stuff, and all it was a black screen, and it came on with the Batman logo and like bats, and made some noise.
Wow, I do not remember.
And that was it. And then I was
hilarious.
like, "Oh my god!"
It's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I don't remember them, but I could see that as like teaser trailer. Oh, it's going to be awesome in 2 years. It's still awesome right now.
Well, that's kind of the power of Batman, though.
Yeah,
They're able to do that.
So there was literally a black screen, and then the bats flew away and left the bat symbol. And that was like it.
That's your teaser.
That was it.
Everybody
The
thought it
very
was quiet,
definition of teaser.
and then celebrated.
Well, because they had
Oh shit!
they had that one at Comic-Con this year, the little teaser one with the bat signal, right? And it's awesome. The one with the glowing eyes and stuff like that. Oh, you didn't see
With
it?
the Superman.
You did not see it.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's not long, but it's still pretty awesome. They don't say anything, but it's a teaser kind of thing. But I think I can't exactly remember what happens. Like, I think Batman's standing next to the bat signal.
It was basically.
you remember?
Yeah, I think you see the bat signal in the sky, and then you kind of follow it down to the source, and you see Batman standing next to it. Well, it's a long shot, and then you kind of zoom in, and after that you see Batman there, and then you follow the signal up to the sky, and then I think it was
You
in the
see
middle
Superman.
of the bat
Yeah.
signal. You see the glowing red eyes.
Yeah, like he's gonna fry Batman, which he
And
could.
then that was like it.
I do enjoy the fact that they have them as enemies, right? For Batman V.
I
because-
guess, but
If they just hurt by each other, Batman would definitely be seen as a bad guy by Superman.
Oh
Where
yeah.
he just beats the shit out of people.
That's
true.
I mean, that's
he
how
would
they.
see him as a villain.
That's why they have such a hard time through the whole comics. Is because of that.
They have very, very different points of view.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was even said in one of the comics. I can't remember right now, but it was pretty much they're arguing about their views,
and
their methods, and all that. And it's Superman says we should lead by example because that way people would be more drawn to the good and all that. And Batman says, yeah, that works for the people that are on the fence already on the good side.
Or
What about the people that are already bad?
or the people that live in Metropolis, basically.
Yeah, like all these good people, yeah, they're going to follow the good.
What about
But
when he...
the bad people, they need to have the shit scared out of them to do bad things.
Or the people that live in Gotham.
Like, or not to do
I was gonna
bad
say,
things, yeah.
basically the people, the Gotham population
Gothamites.
versus, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like
Except
Metropolis
Superman
not nicer.
killed a man.
Yeah, that pissed me off so much.
It was.
It was a good movie until then. Like, no,
I wouldn't go that
Superman would
far.
not kill him. Superman would not kill him. No, I like the movie.
Spoilers.
It's yeah. It's okay. I liked it. I didn't hate it or
There's,
anything.
there's loopholes, don't get me wrong, but it was my favorite Superman movie. Not that the bar is very high.
I was gonna say
But-
versus. Okay, that's an easy statement to make. Yeah, it's good. Got a lot of action. IHOPs were destroyed. Was that a Denny's? No, this is IHOP, right? A lot of
Just-
product
I
placement
know.
in that one scene where they're fighting in the town, and blowing through U-Hauls and stuff, and
And a LexCorp truck. or
it was
whatever.
like, oh, okay. I see where you put the product placement in this part.
Sears, IHOP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't be in that city when those buildings. I hope you weren't anywhere near those buildings or anything when they decided to go nuts. Were they in Metropolis when that happened? I didn't know if it was Metropolis.
I think it was Metropolis when everything just horrible.
Yeah, that went poorly for
Yeah, 'cause
architecture
it was that
in
scene where
general.
It was Perry White and Jimmy Olsen and the other chick.
Well, yeah, down at the bottom.
But it was
But,
just funny that our solution to save the city is to make a singularity in the city. Like, okay, what? You want to make a giant black hole in the middle of the city to save it from getting destroyed? Okay, got it. All right.
That makes sense.
I think some of the people are thinking that Superman should have maybe taken the battle less in Metropolis and more
Into space.
somewhere other than I don't know, Kansas, somewhere less populated,
Yes.
like that's less building,
More farmland.
although made for cool scenes. Like I gotta admit, when they're blowing through buildings, it's pretty awesome. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure someone did not make it out of that building. Or that one. There's probably a lot of people that are unhappily.
There's a small massacre.
So so
just
Superman
off
killed
screen,
a lot
so
of
it's
people.
okay.
There's more
but it's all
damage.
off screen, so it's okay.
Okay,
more
so he
damage
really
than
didn't kill him.
he only kind of killed one guy, and he was an alien anyway, so it's okay. He wasn't human.
Yeah,
never
wasn't human.
mind all
He
those
wasn't
other
human.
side people, right?
He'd never kill a human, but aliens, they're fair game. They're weird like that. You can kill those.
And he'll make a comeback. He's like, he didn't really die, see?
He's just holding. He just holding somebody up. It's like a puppet, like just dancing him around. Like
he has
Woody
his
and
hand
Buzz
through him.
he's like, he's still alive. Look at him. He's like jiggling his body.
So it's
I did
comedy
not kill
now.
him. He's still alive. Because that was definitely a defining scene in that movie where it really split people. Like there was the other things like
there are a
Clark
bunch
Kent's
of
dad,
them.
like no, don't show anyone. I'm going
Yeah.
to die. For you, like he's got super. You don't
Can't
have
he
to
go there really quick before anybody.
No
sees?
one's gonna see, or something. No, there's got to be. It's like okay, that seemed a little bit ham-fisted, but I get what you were going for. You wanted to.
They
do
want
the whole,
Batman, but not two Batman.
Yeah, it's like great responsibility, blah blah blah. I get it. You want to get a little bit of that in there, but it seemed a little, like I said, ham-fisted. The way you did it is one of the people, but people were like, oh, okay, whatever, you're dead. Thanks, Kim Costner. But I mean,
Dog lived though.
yes, the dog lived, but then I think like at the very end where he does kill is where people were like just split completely. Like some people
Right.
are like, I can't remember what people were saying about why it was okay, or they at most they maybe not okay with it, but it didn't bother them as much. And some people were obviously very bothered by him because it's Superman, and Superman don't kill.
And even just having a mild fighting background of like different things, I had already thought of like 5 different ways that he can end that without killing him. Like there are so many different ways to prevent him from killing anyone else.
Plus,
while
that's
he has
usually
the upper hand.
Plus, that's usually the idea. That's usually the conflict in Superman is that he is like basically a god kind of thing and has these superpowers, yet doesn't want to kill. Like that's his thing, kind of.
That's what makes him better than us. Is
That's
because
the
he
whole
has
the
the
hard
higher
part
morality.
of him being able to basically kill everybody and not. That's kind of the inner conflict usually and most of the time. So it's like, well, I have not figured out a solution, whereas Steven figured out at least 5. There was I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's other ways that could have gone.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
much
just-
minus killing.
But he also, at the same time, I don't know. They didn't really show much of his growing up. Really, is just karate lessons would probably be a necessity for him after this, because he has 0 fighting skill up to this
Yeah,
point.
but when you like tossing around buildings and stuff, and you're nigh invincible,
Yeah.
basic martial arts seems a little bit unnecessary. It's like,
Well, at least being able to defend yourself enough to not get your ass handed to you.
well, how often would he expected to be facing other people exactly like him? Like, I think he thought, basically, I'm top of the heap. I just flick somebody and they'll probably die. But I mean,
Like the Incredible Hulk. Superman smash.
yeah, he's not going to be. Well, I mean, if you start running into other superheroes, which in that universe apparently he doesn't. Well, until the next movie.
Yeah,
But during all his things, which is always a weird kind of unspoken thing when it comes to any of the superhero movies, that no other superheroes exist until they need to exist
Yeah.
for any given purpose. Like Captain America, basically, Winter Soldier. Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. has fallen, Hydra is taking over. Where's Iron Man? Can't get a Thor, maybe just a lowly Asgardian to show up to like, hey, Earth's going badly. They're targeting basically the population. Iron Man, possibly included, actually, can give him a little ring. Go, hey, they're trying to kill you, but it's not his movie. It's Captain America. I don't even know if they have a. I guess they probably have a passing line to explain maybe why he doesn't show up, but for the most part, it's usually has to be just kind of a known that they're not going to show up. I guess, and that's the same in comics in general, because they never, in individual comics, they tend to be on their own, even though they live in a world populated by superheroes when you take into account all the books that are out. So like every other person has superpowers, it seems like. So
it did get a little ridiculous. Well, that's why I like Kingdom Come. It's like all of a sudden everybody had powers, and they kind of cleared the slate with it. Like, they even talked, like, Kingdom Come was not just everyone having powers, it was everyone seemed to be this angry, brooding person, and they needed to get to the origins again, so that's why they got the old school ones to teach the new people.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Come,
how to be not assholes, basically. I like Kingdom Come. It's a good one.
It's an Elseworld story too, right? Now, I think it's an Elseworld story because it's not in canon. I don't think, like, it doesn't, not directly in canon.
Not directly.
I think it's an Elseworld story for that one. But well, going back, like, DC is finally going to be creating their cinematic universe in 2 years.
Phase 1.
Phase 1 of their thing. Which is so hilarious because after I got out of Captain America, and actually after I got out of Guardians, Guardians reference,
great movie,
Guardians was amazing.
But then that's this movie, and then they've got the rest of, like I said, 2015 to smack DC around even more when it comes to movies. Although at this point, I don't think DC can fall any lower, so they're at a nice ground level kind of thing.
You can only go up.
As I say, no matter what Marvel brings out next year, which will probably be good. I don't remember what's coming out in 20. Is Avengers 2 coming out next year?
Isn't Avengers 2 coming out 2016?
Oh, is that 2016?
Because weren't they coming out at the same time? But then
That's
now
Captain America's third movie.
That's right.
No, Avengers 2's next year, 2015.
Avengers 2's
and then
next
Captain
year.
America 3 was one that was going head to head.
It was May,
Batman v
so it's coming out.
Is Antman
May.
coming out 2015?
Huh?
Next year is Antman, or is that 2016?
2015.
That's
I think
also
it's
2015.
the end of 2015.
But it's also,
I think Avengers is like spring, and then Ant-Man is fall.
So they got. So it sounds like two movies, maybe even the third one that I can't think of, or I think it might just be 2. But basically, it's 2 to DC's 0 movies. Coming out in 2015, which, like I said, after I got out of Guardians, I was like, so what's DC's offering? Oh, wait, they're not putting out anything for a while. I mean, their first one out of the doors can hopefully be awesome, because you got Batman and Superman. How could you go wrong?
Let me count.
Because if it does fail, it's going to fail spectacularly, because if you can't get your marquee names to bring in, big dollars.
Let's hope Batfleck does good.
I have high hopes for him, actually.
I do too.
I mean, I admit the initial reaction when I heard the name drop.
I was upset. Yeah.
Me, everyone. I agree. I was there too. But I'm like, and then after a while, I took a step back. Like, he's done good work. Actually, he's gotten
recently. He's done developed
very good
a
work.
lot as an actor,
and they had the picture of him as in the Batman suit. Looked good. Good bat chin. Yeah. Looks good in the suit. So, I mean, even when I was looking at the picture, it's like, I know it's Ben Affleck, but I see Batman there. So it's like, okay, I don't really see Ben or at least initially I didn't see just, it's Ben Affleck. Mostly because he's covered up as Batman, but I still didn't just see Bruce, just him dressed up as Batman. I was like, okay, I see Batman there. It's like,
Ben
okay.
Affleck in a Batman costume.
Right. I didn't just see that. Also, it helped that maybe I was seeing a profile of him, so it was only a side thing. But I saw Batman there, so I'm like, okay. My first initial was like, okay, I see Batman, not Ben Affleck. So I'm like, okay, this could work. So I've decided to hold judgment, because also the other thing goes back to the Heath Ledger kind of thing. As Joker, you can't have him as Joker. That's crazy. Jack Nicholson, he ended it. That's it. Or Mark Hamill, at least as voice kind of thing. Like, he's already done. Might as well just retire it. And then he comes in and just kills it. Just
does
knocks
it
it out of the
completely
park.
different way.
Does
that
his
just
own
makes
way
it
and
great.
just makes it great. So, and before that, everyone was just basically laughing. You're like, what? Heath Ledger? What?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
whatever.
guy from Knight's Tale?
That's what I was thinking. It's like, I was going to say that. I was like, guy from Knight's Tale? That guy? I'm like, oh, that's going to be terrible. and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but my reaction to Ben Affleck, I was upset. I was like, "Wait, Daredevil?" Oh, but then I heard someone say the name Michael Keaton. I was like, all right, you're absolutely right. I have to give him a shot because no one expected Mr. Mom to play a great Batman
except me, because Mr. Mom's awesome.
He's Beetlejuice. He's a comedian.
He's a comedian
and then,
actor.
He did a great job because I think Tim Burton said he wanted someone as Bruce Wayne that you would never ever see in the Batsuit, and Michael Keaton nailed it. That's who it is. Is you see Bruce Wayne, you're like, oh, he can never be Batman, even though he has all the means and training to be Batman. Like, no, he can't be him. Like, and that's exactly it. It's the person, Bruce Wayne, because you see Bruce Wayne a lot, and then you have Batman as well. They're the completely different people.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But you see the face and the physicality of Bruce Wayne versus Batman, who has all his doodads to hide himself. So I was like, all right. So maybe they're going for a Bruce Wayne look
for the
because it's going to be a lot of talking, so much talking. I'm predicting there's going to be a big fight scene. That'll be the climax, but so much talking. I feel.
Oh, at least hopefully it'll be interesting talking. Although, like I said, most of the really interesting bits of the I thought the Batman Superman comics was actually the thoughts that they were having versus the conversations they were having.
Well, yeah, but yeah,
they don't really converse though. They're always just thinking.
They might say, one of their thoughts might actually come out as words, like as a snide remark. But for the most part, what they're thinking is all the interesting bits and pieces are all the internal, like when they're trying to figure out each other or understand why they are the way they are, is mostly, at least in the comics, done as a thought. But in the movies, they're going to have to talk. And I wonder if they're just going to try to somehow make that a monologue. Like Batman ends up alone somewhere and just starts monologuing or talking to himself about Clark.
He's going to be talking to Alfred, and then Superman's going to go talk to Lois. And then that's how they're going to get the
That's how they're going to get the
I
thoughts out.
don't understand this guy.
I mean, it can go poorly, and I really hope it doesn't, because I would like to see a nice, strong DC Marvel kind of versus each other competition.
Because only the viewers could win.
Yeah, exactly. Although Marvel hasn't needed DC to be awesome because they've just been like almost versus themselves. Like, we could do better than this, and they're just going against themselves. Like, let's do it better. We can get more money and make a better movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully DC's not just bad, and like Marvel's like, what was that?
I have the lineup of what they have planned out so far. So for Marvel, for 2015, Avengers: Age of Ultron, May 1st, next year, followed by Antman, July 17th, 2015, next year.
Oh wait, so they're pretty close together then.
Yeah, pretty close. So. Yeah.
Buy a bundle pack for
I was
Christmas.
going to say, buy a bundle pack.
And then you have Captain America 3, which is going to be May 6, 2016, which was the original date that they were going head-to-head with Batman v Superman.
Okay.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
And then they decided to move theirs back to, was it March? And then Doctor Strange, July 8, 2016. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2, July 28, 2017.
Man, 2016 is going to kick ass.
Yeah, so in 2016, that's when you have DC's kind of first
Phase
shot.
one.
Yeah. To go head-to-head with Marvel, and that's March 25th, 2016, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. And... what?
Oh, nothing, go ahead.
Then August 5th, 2016, Shazam.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I remember it just been announced, and we've been hearing so much about Batman vs Superman that they just announced Shazam, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to come out for a while. Like,
tentative. Not official yet. It could still slide.
Official. Okay, fine.
But DC's always been playing around with their dates.
All right, good point.
And so is Marvel, Disney.
Also good point, yeah.
It's like, what can I do to... June 23rd, 2017. Also not really official, but tentative.
We can't
Justice
make an
League.
official date that far out. It's like yeah, I see. But then if you're just gonna say that, might as well just say it. Actually, I was gonna say, might as well just say anything. Well, but basically saying Justice League is basically like saying anything. Like, Justice League. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, it's basically like throwing out the biggest, like, okay, let's just throw out something huge. Okay, and then we'll just maybe change it. Because then that means they
X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah, so,
we'll just
we're thinking about it tentative. We're just going to throw that out there. Exactly. Because, I mean, by that list, it sounds like you got Batman and Superman. Then you've got...
Right. Shazam.
And then
that same
Justice
year.
League.
And then Justice League is the following year, 2017.
But you still haven't thrown in any other individual movies. You haven't thrown in your Wonder Woman.
November 17th, 2017, Sandman.
Okay.
You know who they need to make?
Further out.
They need to make Black Panther. He is a very strong character. He needs to make an appearance.
They can't even make one of Wonder Woman. She's one of the trinity of characters that they do. Black Panther, yeah, strong character, but they can't even figure out how to make good movies of their main... Well, Batman, he gets to, but he stands alone.
Black Panther is Marvel, though.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking DC still. My bad. Well, Marvel's already kicking butt, so they don't really need anything else.
No, they need Black Panther.
I think they could use a Black Panther, but they don't need anything.
He has such a strong He has such a strong story. They're just hanging on to that. They're going to use all their Z-grade heroes, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now they're just trying to show off.
Own him, rather?
Does he not? I don't know.
I'm sure they own.
There are certain. I'd say they don't. They probably own. I doubt that anyone else was going to buy that property because he wasn't one of the major. Like Spiderman got bought up, X-Men got bought up because they were already kind of known properties. Black Panther a bit more big to comic book fans, but less in just mainstream. So it seems like Fox bought the mainest mainstream that already like people possibly knew about, but I'm pretty sure he's still definitely Marvel.
Did you watch that miniseries of the Black Panther?
No.
Black Panther. Oh man, great opening song. Oh, so good.
Okay, then see, we got to vote for Black Panther. Then.
We need Black Panther. He's a good.
I would not say no because I trust Marvel at this point to do basically anything. So
yeah,
I'm still waiting to see when they screw something up.
Howard the Duck.
Since now. No, starting now.
They're
starting with
not
going to
screw up Howard the Duck.
Because they never did, according to some people. Because it was perfect the way it was. That was not
it was not perfect, but it was
the
childhood.
Movie? Yeah.
That's what I mean. So you see it that way, but some people, well, maybe they have
because they didn't read the comics. They just
yes, exactly. So to them, the movie is great. Most of them saw it when they were children too. So they're like, yeah, I remember that from my childhood. Is what I heard a lot of people saying after the bit at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just like, oh yeah, Howard the Duck. Even though they're like, why does he look weird? Although he looks like his
didn't look weird. He looked badass.
Well, he looks like his comic book character.
They panned on him, and I was the only one to shout, "Is that Howard the Duck?"
That's what I did too. And everyone's like, "What's a duck? What?
Who's that?"
They're like, "Donald Duck."
No,
but they did kind of. I guess because they couldn't use that version of Howard the Duck in the original one. But now, well, Disney owns that, so they're like, now you can. Although it got people kind of clamoring. They had to be kind of semi-joking. It's like, hey, Howard the Duck movie coming out, 2016, right? Howard the Duck. He got a pop, right? People were like, yeah, although he was only in it for
that's not gonna happen.
About 5 seconds. But, I mean... So maybe a whole movie might be a bit much.
It could be a little running gag that he's going to make a little cameo in all the new movies. Or at least all the Guardians.
So it's going to be him and Stan Lee just showing up in every way. Or he'll show up next to Stan Lee in every one.
Hanging on his shoulder.
Exactly.
Hey!
He'll always be having a conversation with Stan Lee or something, or be like next to him, or he'd be doing like a...
Did he make an appearance in the Guardians?
Yes.
Who, Stanley?
Yeah.
Where was he?
He was in that scene where you get introduced to Rocket and Groot in the big plaza area. He's like scans him.
The ladies' man.
That's the guy.
Okay, I remember him now.
Nope, he's not going to miss his scene. That's not going to happen.
I hear he's a bit of a ham.
So no, he's always been that way. I think even when he was writing the comics, he always wanted to be the guy he is now. The guy that's just out there as part of everything. Basically, he wanted to always be famous, so now he's living the dream, the Stan dream.
Stanley dream.
Stanley is living the Stanley dream. Yes. So what? Yeah. What else is
they basically have 10 slots from 2016 to 2020. Basically, 2 movies for the next 5 years.
Marvel or
DC?
Pretty kind of
Kingdom Come, Death in the Family.
So it's like
just
basically
ideas.
spring, summer kind of release dates. The other ones they haven't really confirmed yet, but are eventually going to happen. Aquaman.
Okay.
Aren't they making a
Wonder Woman?
real life Teen Titans or something like that?
Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
Yeah, still actively developing that one.
The new 52 one or the original? Oh, you wouldn't know.
Probably a lot of them are, I'd say, based on the new 52.
Yeah,
they're trying
I'd
to push
say the
it.
new.
Kind of do a cohesiveness kind of thing.
With Harley.
The Flash. And looks like Green Lantern again.
Well,
Try to.
well, I think they're
And the
trying to do
Batman. And
the other Green Lantern whose name escapes me right now.
Hal John? No.
No.
George?
Oh, now you know what it is.
And the Metal Men.
I'm trying to think.
And they still
Jon
have
Stewart.
open for Man
Jon
of Steel
Stewart.
I had to remember the Daily Show actually, because that's what I always remembered. That's always. But yeah, I think they wanted to do it because he was the one that was in the animated ones.
with Erdis Elba.
Yes. Say that'd be awesome. But yeah, because I think the animated ones uses Jon Stewart as that's the Green Lanterns that's in the animated one. You've seen some
And the
of them.
same speech as in Pacific Rim. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
I'd see him as. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he could. I'm not saying he couldn't work. I'd be awesome. But you've seen the animated ones, right?
Yes.
Or have you guys all seen the animated Justice League shows? They use Jon
Yes.
Stewart, right?
Yes.
That's the Green Lantern that's in it, or is it Hal Jordan?
He makes appearances, but it's mostly Jon Stewart.
So yeah, so it's the one that kind of they've been cultivating in the animated series. So a lot of people probably, or kids and such, or adults who watch animated shows like that, know that's the one they know. So that I see them trying to promote that one because
If
it's
they
already
do
kind
that,
of
then they're
built
gonna
in.
have to tie in Hot Girl.
Well, let's see why not. Okay, but I mean, as Green Lanterns go, I mean, the first the Ryan Reynolds one, which shall not be spoken of ever again. Apparently,
I never saw it, so I can't judge it.
I still affirm not the worst movie ever, but I could see why it didn't work. Some people say it's like they were trying to fit too much in there, and a lot of the stuff didn't work as well. And I didn't feel it was a terrible movie, but yeah, I could see it definitely didn't work as well as it could have, kind of thing. And for people who actually follow Green Lantern, I've heard that they said that they just tried to pack too much into the first movie. Like it should have been stuff that the second movie or the third movie is. They just try to, for fans that already know the stuff, they try to pack in too much into the one movie, and it just kind of overflowed and just made it just bulged out and just wasn't good. If they just focused kind of more on just one thing, it might have worked better. At least for them.
More is what they should have thought of. Less is more.
Yeah, and they just maybe went too big, which, it's nice that they tried to go big, but I guess it just didn't work out for that one, and now they're trying to forget it ever happened.
Well, that was also before the whole superhero craze too. Like before,
It was in the very beginning,
like
that
the
they're
very beginning,
kicking
were
up.
already
They're like,
out,
oh,
right?
so people are starting to really want to do comics. Okay, we'll definitely do the Green Lantern then, because it was X-Men. That's what started everything. The
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, which they need a reboot. I feel.
I think
not
they
the same
are,
They pushed
right?
that down. They
but-
pushed. That's another one they pushed. Though Fox did, like it was slated. I thought in the announcement for Deadpool there was another thing. Like there was Assassin's Creed, but I thought they also said something about the Fantastic Four reboot.
they were gonna
Right.
do a Fantastic Four reboot with a younger cast of.
right.
They were gonna be like a younger
Well,
Fantastic
someone's
Four.
Captain America now, so he can't be Human Torch.
he's also a much better Captain America than he is Human Torch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one. So I think they're moving. I'd heard that they're moving not moving the Fantastic Four since I think it's still in maybe not production but pre-production or something like that. They're still hatching out the idea.
Their ideas right now.
But it was starting to form and they kind of pushed it aside. I read it in the Deadpool. I don't know if Deadpool had anything to do with it, but he seems to have reshuffled the deck a little bit from what they were originally going to do, which I'm okay with. I mean, Fantastic Four is okay, but I really like Deadpool. Probably one of my favorite characters. And if they could get him right, which it sounds like from everyone, from the things I've read, the people that are attached to it, since it's only still kind of tentatively attached to it, are all pretty passionate about the project. Like they've been working towards it for a long time. So if they can keep these people that have cared about it enough when nobody else cared about it in the studio system, if you can keep those people there that passionate about it in it, then you might have a good chance of making something that doesn't go the way of Green Lantern, which should have succeeded because it's got a great story and it's got a great everything. It's got a whole great world and stuff based on it, yet still failed. So things can fail even if they're good. And in this case, it seems like the people that are passionate about it, at least right now, and hopefully they don't get picked off by we need a director with a name and an actor with a name kind of thing. If they start doing that and they just kind of start peeling away the people that really pushed for it, then we might get something that's subpar or just
some that had so much more potential that it actually delivered.
Yeah, and I was really excited when I heard that when I saw that footage, I was super excited, and then when they announced that they were actually going to make a movie, it was awesome. But then now's the time when, now who are you going to get to do this stuff, and who are you going to keep? And he's like, are you going to start naming other people? Then it could start getting worse. But if they start going, we're going to keep that guy that made the original footage and all the people that have been working on it, then I'm like, okay, this PG rating, which I was with you, I'm like, hard R, nothing at all, hard R or bust. But after reading the arguments for they're going to do PG, but here's why it might be good, I'm like, yeah, actually it does kind of work for that particular character. Sure, you're losing out on probably the profanity, which you don't really, it's Deadpool, he doesn't need profanity to really get a good line in. He could do all without it. He doesn't need to do that.
Well, I more thought of Alien versus Predator in the fact that Aliens, rated R. Predator, rated R. Alien versus Predator, PG-13.
Yeah, that one's weird. That's, definitely. But it's not because of their dialogue or what they're saying. It's, why that was rated R, and there's no question why that was rated R. And you took out that reason for them to be. So you might as well just take the whole verses out of it and just put it somewhere else and just watch Aliens or Predator.
Yeah.
There you go. Just watch either one of those. No verses. Because it's now PG. But I can see also the reason why they went PG-13 is why cut off a whole segment of the people that you pretty sure are going to want to watch your movie when it comes to Deadpool movie. Because at the cons and everything, you got a whole segment of walking wallets that won't be able to see your movie. So I can see why Fox would want to get it into
2016 is going to be a huge year for just
be
everybody, because that's going to be Deadpool in early 2016 with Bryan Singer's X-Men Apocalypse set for a May release in the same year.
Apocalypse.
And then you'll also see Captain America 3, Shazam, Sinister 6, Doctor Strange, and Batman v Superman.
Strange is one I never got too far into.
And then Wolverine movie in 2017 and the Fantastic Four movie in 2018.
Well, that's now we're just going way too far out. But 16
comics galore, but 2016 is going to be nuts.
It's going to be finally DC's time to prove that they've learned something.
DC, Fox, and Marvel, Disney. Yeah.
Well, Marvel's has proven themselves above and beyond. Fox, they're doing okay. the Spider-Man movies, love hate kind of thing.
Okay.
I liked Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
The third one wasn't my favorite.
Are you talking about Spider-Man?
No, I'm talking the Amazing
The
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing
the,
Spider-Man.
the, the reboots. Yeah, they thought they were okay.
I liked them.
I liked them. So yeah, those are good. Well, wait, what
I
other
think
Fox?
a lot of
movies?
people didn't like them because they're not used to Gwen Stacy. They don't know who she is. Like she's the original, but
Yeah.
No, it's Mary Jane.
But then
What are you
again,
talking
she was a
Hot?
better character than
about? MJ.
the MJ that was in the original
Yeah.
the original Spider-Man movies. Like, just even if you didn't know Gwen Stacy, who played Gwen Stacy?
Emma Stone.
Thank you. Played her really well. Like, you liked the character, and when like you were actually sad to
Spoilers.
see her go, basically. And it's been out.
It's on Blu-ray.
Once on Blu-ray, you've lost your chance. But basically, they made a character that I thought that people really cared about. Like she acted very well, and you're like, I really care about this character. And when she
Emma
does
Stone's
so,
just a really good actress.
well, yeah. See, that's the thing. But I mean, it didn't. It could have been Gwen Stacy, somebody you didn't care about, or like MJ and the other ones where people were definitely love, hate, mostly hate to the MJ character, even though MJ is a good character in general, like in the comics and stuff. But in the movies, didn't quite translate as well. Maybe because of the acting. I don't know. Maybe because of what was written. But a lot of people just didn't feel connected to her, and she just was there almost as an impediment more than like, yeah, I'm glad she was here. Whereas your Gwen Stacy character in the Amazing Spider-Man, people you liked the scenes she was in because it was interesting.
Even the Spider-Man character in this one was just stronger for me.
It
Like in the
seemed
other
so,
ones,
yeah.
he's a teenager. He's a little whiny, but he's a smartass. The original Spider-Man, he just seems more whiny than anything else.
That's because it's Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I
You
didn't feel
lose
him as
all.
Spider-Man.
You don't have any of the wisecracking Spider-Man from him
because he's a smartass. That's who Spider-Man
you
is.
don't get any of that in the original ones. That's why I didn't like those as much as I've liked the new ones because he's a smartass.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely been doing that right. What other? I'm trying to think of any other Fox heroes that have been. Oh,
Fox or
X-Men.
Sony?
X-Men's Fox, right?
Spider-Man is Sony.
Sony
Sony,
is
sorry,
Spider-Man, and then
Sorry, I was
X-Men
thinking
is
Fox, but Sony. I meant Sony. Sony's Spider-Man, and that's good. So they've been doing good. X-Men's good. So they've got a good track record. Marvel's got a good track record. DC, well, they'll eventually get their show on the road. I think that's. And wait, who does? I keep thinking Fox. Who does Fox?
Well, Fox has X-Men,
X-Men.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Oh, so Fox has X-Men.
Sony
has
has
Spider-Man. Sorry, I got confused there. So Sony is doing
I
good.
don't know who owns who.
Fox is doing well with their X-Men. So everyone's doing... Actually, they're all doing well pretty much across the board. Except for DC. Or I guess it's Warner Brothers, though. Warner Brothers owns...
Riding each other's coattails.
Might as well. I mean, might as well just rake in the money while you can. And hopefully the bubble doesn't burst or something and just gets too bloated with superhero movies. Because 2016 is going to have a lot of them. Hopefully all good.
Hopefully the craze doesn't go too far down by then.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Let's get something new.
Yeah, that is and something I hadn't thought about, but yeah, it could be a possibility because I mean, well, actually, during this next year, you only have 2 Marvel movies. I don't think there's a new Spider-Man coming out next year.
I have no idea.
X-Men's not coming out till 2016, so actually next year.
Which X-Men?
Apocalypse.
That's right. We just said it.
Yeah, so that's not coming out to 2016. So actually, 2015 is going to be a light year. It sounds like for superhero.
Everyone but Marvel.
Well, Marvel, but even Marvel's only putting out 2 movies during the course of the year. And with their track record, they put out 1 every month, and people be like, "Okay, I'm with that." But they're like,
But
okay,
they don't want to
2
cannibalize.
Yeah, exactly.
themselves.
So it's going to be a pretty light year, actually. So it might make the hunger for new ones for 2015 that much, or 2016. Sorry, 2016 that much greater because you're only going to get 2 bites of the apple. You're going to get what was it again?
For Marvel or
Antman
Disney?
and
Age of Ultron.
Yes, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
in
So you only-
2015 or 2016?
2015.
Okay.
2016.
So next year.
2015 will
Because
get
he said
you.
2016, so then I got all confused. I was
I've
like,
been
wait.
mixing them up a lot because they're right next to each other. But you're right. 2015, you only have 2 movies coming out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty light. They're probably going to be really good. I mean, I'm looking forward to Avengers 2. And Ant-Man, I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen anything. I don't really know the character that well. You probably know him better, right?
Ant-Man's one of the founding people of the Avengers, which I was kind of sad that they didn't have him in there. Him and Wasp are actually an item. They're both scientists. They're both really smart.
Kim? Which one's that one?
Wasp?
No, the who's the
Giant Man or Ant-Man?
the Atom?
Atom is DC. I want to say
The Atom,
the Atom.
the
So
one that shrinks too.
But Ant-Man-
Yeah, I think that's DC.
Ant-Man is
Ant-Man can shrink to the size of an ant, or able to ride an ant, and he can communicate with them with his helmet, and he can also grow to extraordinary heights.
So, well, I mean, I guess we haven't seen a trailer or anything, so I think maybe because it takes me back to when Guardians of the Galaxy first announced. No idea, but I'm like, whatever.
Well,
First trailer, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is that originally is that bastard child that no one really spoke about in Marvel. Like it was like on the rocks.
I think that falls into a lot of things that they
Yeah.
just don't talk about, and it was just one they pulled from the pile.
And
kind
even the characters in the what do we call it, the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a few other ones that's supposed to be in it, and I guess they just didn't feel like.
Well, because they didn't even use the original team or anything.
No.
They just used who they were going to use because
Yeah.
it's like any team they've shuffled. So
Star-Lord, I think, has always been part of it, though.
I think it was the original. Like I think it was, or maybe it was. I don't remember. But but going back, it made me think of Guardians where they announced it. I couldn't care less. Then the trailer came out and I was on board pretty much. And then another trailer and more stuff came out and it just made me more excited. So if Ant-Man's the same way, because I don't know anything about Ant-Man at this point, never read anything. So it's like, Ant-Man, why are you making that? Exactly the same reaction I had to Guardians. So I'm like, that's a good sign, sort of. But so I'm waiting for that first trailer, basically. So I'm hopefully that first trailer just goes Guardians of the Galaxy, just floors me. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Kind of thing. Although I don't know, that might have been just a lucky strike with Guardians, where everything just came together perfectly. Because I'm sure the feel, obviously, of Ant-Man is not going to be the same as Guardians. Because Guardians definitely had its own feel, its own imagining of how everything
good.
worked.
It's just the comedy. And then it was Joss Whedon, right?
For Guardians?
Yeah, for Guardians.
James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Okay, but I kind of had how the characters connected and everything. I kind of felt like it was like that kind of feel, the Firefly feel, how everyone just fed off each other. Or organically. It was so great. It was really funny.
They definitely pulled all of it together for Guardians, and it showed, even like I said, in the trailers that came out before. But then I guess Ant-Man is its own. It's not going to be Guardians. It's going to be its own movie, so it's not going to have the same feel. So I'm trying to make sure I don't set my expectations to being, it's going to be like Guardians, because that wouldn't make any sense. So I almost have to wash myself away of those ones, because I love Guardians, but I'm like, okay, different movie, different everything. Basically, might be super serious, which I don't know, might work, but I think they'd still need to do a little bit, not too heavy, but hopefully not. I don't know. See, I don't know about the character though.
That man's kind of
he's a
very egotistical guy.
Okay, that could be good. It will work with. Wait, who's playing Ant-Man?
I don't know.
I think they said who's playing, or they had that promotional shot where he's not actually in the Ant-Man costume. He's just in a hoodie or something. It's like Ant-Man. It's just some dude standing there. There's nothing.
This is a headshot, man. What?
Yeah, there's nothing that looks like the character Ant-Man. So you're like, okay, thanks, but yeah. But they have an actor for him. I don't remember who it is. But I was gonna ask you if he would make a good one, but it would be good if I could remember. who it actually is that they got.
As long as it's like a blonde white guy or a dirty blonde white guy, they got it.
Well, I was gonna say, like you were saying, the character himself is kind of egotistical. So you kind of want someone. Well, I mean, you could get any actor and have them be that way, but obviously some better at being egotistical than others. So I was hoping that the one that they did pick, it's like, oh yeah, that guy could play egotistical. That's great.
Well, it's gonna be Michael Douglas and
As Ant-Man?
and Paul Rudd.
Now, Paul Rudd, I believe, is going to be Antman.
Okay.
Not Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Michael Douglas.
He's going to be Hank Pym.
Who?
Michael Douglas.
Pym is Ant-Man. Pym is Ant-Man.
And then Paul Rudd's going to play Scott Lang / Ant-Man.
Does that ring a bell? Because you know more than I do.
Pym? I thought Pym...
I don't know. It's well, I thought. Paul Rudd's going to play. Ant-Man.
Yeah, but he was the one in that picture, the promotional picture.
He was
He's
the
just
one
in a
that
hoodie
picture.
by the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah, it's
The
just
Golden
like
Gate Bridge.
this is just somebody shot next to a bridge.
Pym. That's Pixie.
But yeah, so Paul Rudd, egotistical?
Pym is the last name of okay. Pym is the last name of the guy that he works for, and he marries Pym's daughter, who turns into the Wasp.
Right.
That's where I got Pym from.
So Michael Douglas is playing Pym.
Pym's father, Pym.
Pym's Pym.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
It doesn't seem like they're gonna have her in this, actually.
But I mean, who? So they're not gonna have who?
I guess they could pull who's playing.
Oh, they don't have who's playing. No, I think that sounded familiar. So
Paul Rudd is going to be Ant-Man, I guess. I'm kind of curious about Yellow Jacket, though. They're going to have him in it.
Well, I mean, I guess we don't have too much information yet on it.
That's still a ways out next year.
It's only next year, but they've already been
There's
talking about stuff from 2 years out. Like,
well, there's another Marvel movie coming out really soon. Big Hero 6?
That's Marvel?
Yes.
See, that's the weird thing. I keep forgetting. You have to keep reminding me. It's like a Marvel. Right, there's a comic. I totally forgot. But yes. Oh, wait, is that coming out? When's that coming out?
November 7th.
November 7th.
And they're actually going to do a preview at Disneyland for that too. Like in Tomorrowland and the old Guardians of the Galaxy.
For APs or everybody?
Everybody. But they'll
It
probably
usually
have,
starts off with APs first,
Yeah.
and then
like
it
a week
goes to
before or something.
everybody.
But the Captain EO Theater, which has become the Guardians of the Galaxy Theater, or is it Guardians of the Galaxy? And it's not in the.
No, it's in the Captain.
It's in
EO.
the Captain EO. So Captain EO / Guardians of the Galaxy now / Big Hero 6 /
You mean Honey, I Shrunk the Audience?
There we go. Thank you. Go back and then
Keep going back for the
No, it
Keep
was
going
Captain
backwards
EO
after that.
/ Honey, I Shrunk the Audience / Captain
EO / Guardians of the Galaxy
what it was
/
before is Captain EO Tribute.
right, tribute.
Ah.
Yeah, that's how we differentiate both of them. Otherwise, the people get confused because they think I'm watching Captain EO. Am I back in the
89?
What's that?
Yeah, so the Guardians of the Galaxy was in Tomorrowland at the Magic Eye Theater, and then when that one ended, they're like, oh, they're going to bring Captain EO back, and like, nope, another preview, Big Hero 6.
Well, that's what they were doing with the Muppets for a while. I was sad because they were doing a whole bunch of random stuff with the Muppet Theater. And finally it's back.
But it makes you want to see the Muppets again because I don't know how many
I
people.
never not wanted to watch it.
Well, maybe you, but I think
Not a lot of
I was
people
gonna
like
say,
the Muppets.
when I went
do.
in there, the few times I did go in there, it's like, oh, this is sad. There's not a lot of people here. And I felt bad because I'm like, oh, there should be because it's the Muppets.
It's
But
the
then again,
Muppets.
I hardly go in there myself, so I'm part of the problem.
I think for me, it was that Waldo character, that kind of gimmicky 3D CG character that kind of ruined that whole thing for me.
I guess, but it's not. It wasn't
like
enough
the
to
Jar
ruin
Jar
the
of the movie.
Muppets for me.
Well,
I
not
mean,
the Muppets, but just that.
I mean, the experience. I'd still go see
the spirit of 3D.
Yeah, but I could understand what you mean. Yeah, he could be a bit grating, and they're going to be changing it anyway.
That's kind of like the last time we
He
talked
made
about
them
it
kitty.
before. They were going to just reshoot a second one and replace it.
Right.
So without Waldo, so just kind of more of a pure Muppets
Good
attraction, which I'm all for.
Well, because I guess I could see
because the Muppets
why they wanted
are more
to do it.
family friendly than they are kids. Even the Muppet Show, they sing about random stuff like "We're Always Welcome to My House" is one of the songs they sing, and that's a family serial killers that they're singing about. It's pretty interesting. The Muppets have always entertained me because they're thrown to kids, even though a lot of their humor is not kid humor.
Well, it's kind of borderline where it can kind of
That's why I say family friendly.
be both ways. Like kids will interpret it one way, adults will interpret it another way,
Yeah,
which makes it awesome.
family friendly.
But that made
Kids.
I think the fact they were running stuff in the Muppet Theater made people that wanted to actually, it's like, I miss the Muppets now. And then when you get it back, or it's like, now you get people that actually want to go back and see it because they couldn't see it before, even though they weren't seeing it anyways. But now that they couldn't, they're like, well, now I couldn't see it. So now I want to
Can't
see
tell
it.
me what I can and cannot do.
I will go see it now. Kind of be the same thing with Captain EO. Actually, it kind of worked with the tribute for Captain EO because they had Captain EO, then they had Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, and it's like, I kind of missed Captain EO. Well, here's Captain EO, a tribute. And then everyone went and saw it, and then once again, people kind of stopped seeing
Wonder
it.
if they're going to bring Shrunk the Audience back. 10 years down the line. The Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Think that's gonna happen.
That one might be a bit of a harder sale.
not?
Or what, for the anniversary of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Like, we're bringing it back. Which nobody asked for, but
You're getting it anyway.
you're getting it anyways. But I think so they're going to be showing, now they're going to be showing Big Hero 6, the trailer, in that theater, basically. When's that starting?
The trailer.
The trailer one starting.
It should start pretty soon. I think. What was it? Is it this weekend? No, not this weekend. Next weekend, right?
Yeah, I think
think-
it's October, beginning of October.
It's going to be on a Friday.
Oktoberfest.
I want to say it's the second Friday in October.
Yeah, but basically it's going to run for about a month before the movie actually comes out, then probably run a little bit past the movie. And then
Well,
they'll shut it
well,
down.
It'll
I've
probably
been
be
to
like a
Maleficent.
month after the movie, like the Guardians one.
And
Yeah.
Maleficent and a bunch of other ones.
Because they don't want to take it out right after it comes out because they can still get people to go in there and check it out. That way they can still get people to go see it even after it's been out for a while.
Gotta squeeze out that last bit of dollars. Of course, if it's good enough, I'll go see it twice. I saw Guardians twice.
I wanted to go see it twice.
Well, I took my mom to see it actually a second time, and it was funny because she's like, first part's actiony and stuff. She's like, and it's not really her thing. She's like, why are you what? She was thinking in her head, it's like, why do you bring me this? And I'm like, wait for it. And then when you get to the parts with Groot and stuff and Rocket, you're like, oh, okay. That's her
Got
more
it.
cup of tea. Yeah, exactly. The funny and cute interactions.
I love this movie.
Then she liked it. But at first, she told me after the movie, she's like, I didn't really get why you brought me here for this first part. And then I understood later on. So, yeah, definitely saw that one twice. And I've been looking forward to actually Big Hero 6 from the trailers. The trailers have started to sell me on it.
I've only seen one trailer, and I'm kind of tired of seeing it
The one over and over again.
over and over. again.
Well, yeah, that could happen. Thankfully, I've only seen it enough times to not be tired of it, and not once more. But I guess soon they'll have the trailer that's coming out at Disneyland. It's not the one that's already been running, though, right?
No, it's going to be something else kind of unique to the theme park. Like usually it's an extended trailer where they run for like 10 minutes.
It's usually like the. Did you watch the Guardian Galaxy or the Maleficent one?
I watched the Maleficent one. I
'Cause
didn't get
those-
to see the Guardians.
It's basically like a sneak peek at the movie of like a short clip of it,
5 to 10
and
minutes
then they'll
of it.
show like an exclusive trailer, like a longer extended trailer of it.
Oh, okay.
and get you all hyped and jazzed up before they send you back into Disneyland.
And I'm like, oh, now I'm at Disneyland. Oh.
Now I'm sad.
Because they raised the food prices again.
Uh,
But then at the same time, because it's Halloween, they're bringing back more of the exclusive food again. I talked about this the last podcast. But,
Yeah.
We talked about the price raising in some of the foods.
You can go listen to it.
oh,
You definitely
goody.
listen to our podcast
And then comment.
on
somehow.
iTunes. We're still working on the commenting system.
I'm getting the Facebook up.
eventually.
Soon we will have the Facebook.
We will
But you
have
can-
a Facebook up.
But you can follow us on the Twitter.
The
Yeah,
Twitters,
so you can comment on Twitter.
I don't have any of those
the
things.
Instagram,
At
the
Taco
Pinterest.
Nights, right?
Yes, at Taco Nights.
Just said that. And then you could tweet at us and ask us. You can ask us questions.
Yeah.
We're going to have like a QA kind of thing where we answer questions from Twitter. Or if we
Yeah.
ever get comments or stuff. If we ever come up with a comment section.
Yeah.
Ah,
If you want. Tweet us.
Yeah, tweet us and we'll answer the questions.
We will gladly answer the questions.
Yes.
Such as where to get the best food in Disneyland.
The answer
I'm
is
pretty
3.
sure they listen to our podcast. They will know these things.
Well, if they want more detail.
Ah. A
'Cause
specific item.
we don't really cover all the other stuff, like for
We will actually go
the
and
candy
taste test
place,
for you.
Palace. I mean,
Live from
we'll take
Disneyland
we'll take
podcast.
requests on things to try. It's like I'd like you to try this, and we will try it live on the air.
Send us money for it.
Except not because it's recorded.
yeah, but like at the Candy Palace or the Jolly Holiday Bakery, they have the exclusive stuff there that they kind of roll out every season. So like different cookies, different treats, marshmallow pops, cake pops, Rice Krispie treats, cupcakes, all themed to and flavored to the season, I guess.
A lot of Jack
Pumpkin.
stuff.
Yeah, bats, pumpkins right now. And then they have their drinks that they're pushing out too. The pumpkin spice latte, hot spice caramel apple ciders coming back out. Fall flavors again. You can get the banana fritters with the cream and glaze. Talked about the tropical habanero punch last time, and the Maleficent Dragon Sipper, which I still need to get.
You have to put
But
out some pictures of
in
these
addition
on the
to
website.
that Maleficent Sipper,
We get the website.
they also have the Zero
Oh, that is
Doghouse
awesome.
popcorn bucket.
That is really cool looking. I
'Cause
might have to get one of those.
I got the Jack Skellington coffin popcorn bucket last time, and that was cool. So now I got to get this to complement it.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's really cool looking.
It's just a little black doghouse with Zero sticking out in front of it, and I guess you get popcorn to the top of it.
Yeah, it looks like
Has a little handle. But you walk around with that in one hand and your Maleficent Dragon Sipper in the other hand, and you're like, this is awesome.
And then you get the
Yay.
glow cubes.
Oh yeah, they have all the glow cubes, like Mickey heads, pumpkins, some other stuff. Then they have the Mickey Hatbox Ghost popcorn bucket. The what was it? The Skeleton Dance popcorn bucket, which was themed to the Monster Mash back in like DTV music, whatever, way back in the 80s. The travel mug as well. And then different specialties, like remember how we had the lobster roll over at Harbor Galley next to the dry dock, sailing ship Columbia, all that stuff. Now at the French Market they have the traditional shrimp po' boy. So I guess seasonal, seems like. Fried popcorn, shrimp, lettuce, tomato, vinegar dressing, Cajun remoulade sauce on a toasted potato roll with Cajun chips and grapes. But that looks delicious.
It does look that, yeah.
And then the desserts also themed, like the Sally Coffin cheesecake.
The one that we talked about last week.
And I think that's the Choco Flan. Looks like a pumpkin tart something. And then more drinks, pumpkin beignets, which I haven't tried yet, but people
Sounds
have been.
interesting.
I've tried the regular beignets and those are good. And pumpkin ones, not really too sure, but if they're
I'm
as
sure
good as the
they're
other
good.
ones, well, I guess we got to make a trip out there, do a food report.
Oh,
And then at the Harbor Galley, they also have seasonal soup, lemon dill chicken with orzo and pesto in a bread bowl.
all right.
I'm assuming.
Man.
Then the blue cheese and onion marmalade burger at the Hungry Bear restaurant.
Not a big blue cheese fan, so probably won't be eating that.
Yep, still
Caramel
doesn't sound
apple
appetizing.
funnel cake, which I mentioned last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the Golden Horseshoe, they have ice cream nachos.
All right, sold.
Rancho del Zocalo, they're bringing back the pork tamale platter. And for a little bit more, you can get pork tamale and carne asada. Better deal. Chocoflan. Yeah.
Choco who?
Chocoflan. Good stuff. And then in Fantasyland, they have the fire-breathing dragon flatbread. Flaming hot flatbread with buffalo chicken, serrano pepper slices, chipotle aioli, and spicy pizza sauce.
So this seems like a Navajo taco.
Which seems a lot better than the one that they have at California Adventure, which is the anti-vampire garlic chicken pizza, which is just like bell pepper, garlic chicken, and garlic sauce on the pizza.
All right.
It just seems better to me. But and then Tomorrowland, the Monsters U style burger, which I think I mentioned last time too.
Yeah, we
was
talked
the
about that last time.
cheeseburger.
Well, again, I wasn't here.
It's okay. It's on the podcast. You can.
You can go listen to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically a grilled onion cheeseburger served with French fries covered in a Parmesan blue ranch ooze. The Sully Blue. And then basically just all the stuff subs are supposed to come back this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're pretty much getting the rest of the park ready for the 60th. And I guess one of the big controversial things is the whole safety thing kind of sweeping throughout Disneyland. So on the drawbridge, or in front of the castle on that bridge leading up to the drawbridge, you used to be able to sit in those little kind of half circle alcoves. They're taking out those benches and putting up bigger fences. I've sat there before. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's cramped. It's nice. And now it's gone in the name of safety.
Was there a lot of people falling over?
No, just preventative. Kind of like, well, Cal OSHA came in and they're like, well, we really want to get on your good side, so
Yeah,
we're doing all this preventative stuff. Like they put up a new fencing around there. Before it used to just be a chain on the drawbridge with shields on it. Now it's an actual metal fence that's kind of more built permanently, so that drawbridge ain't going up anymore.
So this drawbridge will never work
It's
again.
fixed. What else? Doing more construction, because you know how you lost the Disneyland lost the Court of Angels to Club 33, and there's another court towards the back where it was the Royal Courtyard between the two shops. I forgot what the shops are called.
The Pirate one and the Baton Rouge, where it was before the Villain store. Now.
Yeah, that one. So they had that space that was a shopping area. They took a quiet area, turned it a shopping area. Now I think they're going to put in a spiral staircase, is from what I've seen, and kind of make it like a tribute to the Court of Angels that used to be there.
All right.
But yeah, it's in that section where you have the pirate red, like showing you the treasure map. It's behind that. So they knocked out the stairs and trying to dress it up, make it all fancy. And I think that was it for the Disney tidbits today.
I think we need to expand tidbits into tidbits. There we go. Because we're getting all up in here. Informational. Yeah.
Yes.
This is more like interesting information.
Oh,
You know
here
what?
it is.
I haven't been
The
to
Big
Disneyland.
Hero 6 is September 26th is when it's going to open up.
So it's
tomorrow.
before October.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's really soon then.
I guess I haven't been in Disneyland in a while because I didn't even know they had the Guardians of the Galaxy preview there.
What?
So you haven't been in like a month.
I've
More than a month.
I've been
Yeah.
doing DCA mostly, honestly.
They have better food, though.
Yeah.
Oh, except for what they've been doing recently, like since the price increase and everything, they've been changing the menus too. So they took the flatbread pizzas out of the boardwalk pizza and pasta and turned into just regular pizza slices. So it's like, not really much of a reason to go there anymore other than just pasta, pretty much. And
like
at
the
Flo's V8 Cafe, they kind of got rid of the entree style food in favor of more sandwich style food. So like roast beef and cheddar sandwich versus like having the pork loin and Coke glaze sauce and the turkey dinners and stuff.
All right. So they're taking away the diner part?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, especially us foodies. But yeah, pretty much at least they have the seasonal offerings to kind of make up for it, but I kind of want to see the better food stick around longer. But I guess people are too comfortable with like, no, I just want fries and burgers and soda.
Do you know if they're going to be putting back the old menu from wherever they had the Inca soda?
Oh yeah.
The Viva?
That's coming back this holiday.
Okay, good. That was
officially confirmed.
All right.
And announced. Same menu, I think.
Hopefully.
Or most of everything on the menu is coming back. And yeah, it's been really popular. So they're going to kind of, I think the word was they're going to expand it this year. Try to make it a little bit bigger, give it a little more of a budget.
Okay.
Make it more impactful. But yes, all that delicious food is coming back.
Right.
I can't wait. That I'll pay for. I think it's worth it. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
No, I just remembered the lobster roll over there. Because how we were talking about that earlier.
Okay.
I actually tried a lobster roll when I was down in San Diego in Seaport Village. And it's like, oh, well, this seafood shop down by the water, kind of known for their thing. Not as expensive as Disneyland. And it's like, okay, well, it should be good, and it should give Disneyland a run for its money, because this is what they do here. They're like right by the water. You expect good seafood, right? It was actually a lot worse. And it's like, I'd rather pay the extra few bucks to Disney and then just eat their lobster roll there. And it's kind of surprising. It's like, usually you don't really see that. It's usually the other way around, where the food's better outside, but this is one of the few times where it's actually better inside the park.
All right.
And I think that's where they're doing good. So even though it costs a little more, better food.
That's good to know. I mean, it's still doing good on the food department. Well, certain places, some of them a little subpar, I guess, but the price doesn't get any lower.
They do beat Knott's Berry Farm. I was there as well. This past weekend.
In the fried chicken department? We've talked about this.
I did not get to have the fried chicken. And one of the things I noticed is, like, I couldn't find fried chicken anywhere inside the park. Maybe someone else knows where it is.
Where?
Knott's Berry Farm. I know they have it at Mrs. Knott's outside the park.
Right.
And they have a to-go thing right next to the restaurant, but that's all outside the park. If you're inside the park and you want fried chicken, it seems like you have to leave and go get fried chicken, wait in that long line.
Yeah, I don't think they sell it inside. It's only on the outside.
And that's
why
a
it's always
shame.
long.
It's like you should go. It's like they should have a restaurant there where you should be able to get fried chicken in a shorter line because you're already paying to get in the park. So it's like a privilege almost. It's like just by virtue of you coming into the park, we'll give you a shorter line. More access to the fried chicken. Sprinkled with crack.
Maybe once they get you inside the park, they want you to buy everything else. Like other foods.
The weird thing is, like, they had the ghost town area and the boardwalk area, and that whole section is kind of considered one big America land. So all you can really find there is like pizza, burgers, hot dogs, fries.
Exactly.
And then they have their little Fiesta Village, which has Mexican food. A very poor selection, I might add. And Disneyland totally beats it with just Rancho del Zocalo alone. And even the other place across the way at DCA, the Cocina Cucamonga.
Right.
Yeah, just those two places. That's like the prices were. It seemed like the value was better at Disneyland than Knott's, even though you pay less to get into Knott's. And they've been fixing up the place to give it better theming. And then when you circle back around to that third area of the Knott's Berry Farm, which is Camp Snoopy, that one is also back to American food, but I guess it's more barbecue style, so like ribs and grilled chicken, but not fried chicken.
No.
It's like, so I was disappointed.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just stick to eating everything at Disneyland for now.
Unless you're
for the
outside of
chicken.
Nuts, then you can get the fried
Right,
chicken.
unless you're outside, then you should.
In Pink's.
With that big
partake.
basket of... Oh, yeah, Pink's is outside the park as well, next to Mrs. Knott's famous fried chicken.
Well, that's kind of like I see Pink's like at the fair and other places, but I feel like
it's lost
just
its
like
cachet now.
Yeah, it's just like now you're just kind of getting a hot dog from a place somewhere that's not. It's kind of more about the journey or going to the actual
like
Pink's,
like
kind of
Krispy
thing.
Kreme back in the day.
Oh, what?
Like when like the donut shops, like you
Uh-huh.
had Dunkin' Donuts and Winchell's and all this other stuff way back then, right? And then Krispy Kreme was this new upstart, and it's like, hey, look at this! You make it fresh, you can see how it happens, and it's when you bite into it, it just melts in your mouth like
Because
butter.
it's all sugar.
yeah. It's like a cotton candy in the shape of a donut. But then as soon as they started popping up everywhere, people lost interest in it and like, it's not really worth it anymore. I mean, you can get it anytime, anywhere. I mean, people still get it because it's good, but it's not like people are willing to wait 2 hours just to get a box of donuts.
True, but I guess in Pink's case, really it is pretty much mostly the name. I mean, they do sell different kinds of hot dogs, but anyone can sell different of hot dogs. But it's all about going to the location. Like if you go to
The one on Melrose, right?
yeah
And
that one where they have all the celebrities, and
The
pictures.
original.
The original. It's about going specifically to that one.
Then
the
that
fact
one
that you
you're
get
willing to wait.
I've
an
only
hour.
been
fact that
there
you get
once.
The
and it
fact
is
that you
great.
get some food there is like almost secondary. It's like, yeah, I'm here now. I will have a hot dog. But
And I will
you could
sit
have
down
a hot
and
dog
eat it here
right. You're going there
and bask
for
in
the
the celebrity.
yeah. You're going there for the ambiance and just being there. But if you're like, oh,
And
we
the
have a stand, we
delicious
pasted up a thing that says Pink's,
And delicious onion rings.
you're just like, well, okay, it's now I'm just sitting somewhere eating a hot dog under a sign that says Pink's, but who cares? It's not about, you're not going to the place. Like I've been to Pink's. It's like I went to a place that had the title Pink's kind of thing.
Like at the airport.
Yeah, like I see. Yeah, I
I
also
paid
see,
$10 for this one hot dog.
but it's Pink's, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's still once you get down to it, kind of. There's nothing special about the hot dogs. I don't think.
It still has the skin on it. Not the husk.
The casing.
The casing. There we go.
Is that
That's
so?
why
No
it
one ever
snaps.
does that before.
It's an oddity now. It really is.
But you could get. Is that what they're?
A snappy
I always
casing.
thought it was. Yeah, the.
There's-
Well, specifically for Pink's. Like I'm guessing other ones do it, but then they just like we have the casing. Like who cares? You're like, are you Pink's kind of thing? It's like just having the casing itself is not why people think. Then they see the Pink's ones. Like I'm going to get the one with the casing. That's the special hot dogs. I think most people see, oh, Pink's. That's the famous one. Even though
Yeah, it's kind of turning that into that a lot nowadays.
Well, that's how it's been for a while. Oh, it's more famous, therefore it's better.
but you're not even going to the famous version of it. You're just going to like a
Any-
satellite
yeah.
location, I guess, which has nothing to do with all the things that makes it special. It's
Right.
not the hot dogs. I mean, the hot dogs are kind of different
it.
from other ones, but you can also probably get those hot dogs from somewhere that's not Pink's.
Like you can go to Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Yeah, you can go somewhere else and get them, but it's all about, going to Pink's. So when I see it just randomly in some location, Pink's in the airport, I'm
And-
like, well, I'm in an airport,
The
and that's a
funny
hot
thing-
dog stand.
The funny thing is, like, there's the Pink's in right by Knott's Berry Farm, so you don't have to go all the way to Hollywood or
Do they
LAX.
still have the weird combination of like 3 dog nights? It's
Yeah, they
3
do.
hot dogs
And
and tortillas.
the funny thing is, it's the same hot dog. They just give it different names based on location. So in Vegas, they'll call that same dog a different name and say it's the strip dog, or just kind of
Right.
theme it
Theme it to wherever it happens to be.
and charge you more.
Church Mart, yes.
But like in Buena Park, you can get better hot dogs than that. Like just down the street from there, it's Portillo's, and those are like Chicago style dogs, and those are so good. And you can actually get a cake
never
shake
get
there.
next to a Chicago dog, though, unfortunately, because it almost seems too busy whenever I eat it. Like, because it comes with everything. Like, it comes with
Tomatoes
And-
relish, onions, mayonnaise, mustard,
Isn't
the
there
chili,
the chili pepper, and it's like really. I mean, that's just
It's
me.
so good though.
I guess and I'm trying to eat. I guess like I can't. I need a fork or something. It's like I can't get it to go. Well, if I ever get it from, like I also saw it at Wiener Schnitzel. That was good, but the same idea. It's stuffed with stuff. Basically, it's got a lot of things in there. I still have the same problem. I
You can't compare Wiener Schnitzel with anything.
I'm not talking about the taste. I'm talking about the ability to eat it. My mouth is not large enough to fit around to eat it. Yeah, exactly.
I said it.
I said it. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but yeah, basically. Like when I eat it, I'm just, I feel like I'm not eating it correctly because there's so much going on. I'm like, I can't, I just want to eat a hot dog kind of thing. But that's just me because obviously Chicago style dogs are very, very popular. So maybe I'm more of a bacon wrapped hot dog suicide dog kind of person with like the bacon wrap, the onions, the mayonnaise.
Well, just coming out of a bar or a club
or anywhere on the
best
street
things in the world.
I guess I'm more.
I think you just crave that grease when you're drunk.
Yeah.
I don't even drink and I crave that grease. I just crave the grease naturally, apparently.
So greasy.
I just see them out there on their aluminum foil tables. Like, I gotta have one of those. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, but I gotta have one.
They're so delicious.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, I think that's more my style.
Yeah, around the evening when I come back home, I always see, like, about a block down from the house in the shopping center parking lot, there's always a hot dog stand there. And they sell the suicide dogs, ghetto dogs, whatever you want to call them.
I think we need to take a live podcast down there and check this place out for some heart-stopping good times. Oh, man, no. Sounds delicious.
Too much good food.
Yeah, good food. I guess we'll leave it there for now. Is there something else you wanted to... Well, I mean, we can get back to it.
There's too many topics.
There's a lot. I think we have a lot that we still need to talk about. We just, like we do, get kind of go on a tangent. That's how we do here on Taco Knights podcast. We'll just go run with whatever feels right, and if we ever get back to whatever topic we're talking about, we'll do that. But
well, we got to stop it somewhere, otherwise it's gonna be like 5 hours long.
Which we thought about, but then
then it's just a bunch of people rambling.
Yes, we only kept it to 2 hours.
Well, I think we're under 2 hours.
Barely.
Actually, no, yes. I take that back. We were actually probably around 2 hours. Of course, our humble podcast listeners will know exactly how long this is, but when they see
me,
one of me.
I think at least 2 people, but we'll check the comments section. Remember to add a comment section.
Remember to tweet us, and then I'll let you know if I get the comment section up on Facebook.
So you can follow us on
Twitter.
You can follow us on Twitter.
Twitter at
Taco Knights. And we're working on the Facebook page.
Yes, I will be tweeting that.
So if you're following us on the Twitter, then you can get the updates on the Facebooks.
Yep.
And eventually the Instagrams and the Pinterests
and the Tumblrs and all that stuff. I think it might be, and then the website. Well, we gotta figure out the website. Yeah, that's where we can put comments on there.
Yeah.
So the goal is comments somewhere.
And if you want to get a hold of me personally, you will not find me.
Yes.
Leave us feedback on iTunes. Get us moving up the charts.
Yes.
Exposure.
Leave us good feedback, and tell your friends if you liked it, and if you didn't like it.
Nice. Still tell them that you liked it.
If you didn't like it,
just lie.
Just lie and say it's good. But
just say it was awesome.
Yes.
And never listen to us again. It's fine.
We're okay with that. We just like to hopefully give you something fun to listen to once in a while. But yeah. Well, thanks for listening. I've been your host, Kikoa, and it's been Corey.
Hey.
Ben.
Hey.
And Steven.
Good night.
The one that actually went on the outro.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Till next time.